Hey guys, in this video we're going to be talking about geometry let statements. So let's read the problem here. The length of a rectangle is 5 meters more than its width. The perimeter is 66 meters. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. So in this problem we know that there's a rectangle. So let's draw a rectangle. Right. So, and we know the perimeter is 66 meters. So I'm going to abbreviate perimeter as the letter P. Put that there, 66 meters. Perimeter is derived from adding all sides of a given shape. And here we have a rectangle, so you just add all 4 sides of this rectangle to get the perimeter. Alright, so we know that the length of the rectangle is 5 meters more than its width. So let's say this was the width and this was the length. So we know the length of the rectangle is 5 meters more than its width. So it's so the length is equal to width plus 5. So we know that this would be W plus 5 as well, and this would be W. So we know that all these 4 sides added together gives us 66. So let's put it in an equation form. So W plus 5, that's the first side. Our second side plus W. Okay, and our third side plus W plus 5 plus our fourth side, which is plus W, equals 66. We can combine the like terms. So we have a W here, 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 and here. So we have 4 W's. So this would be 4W plus, and we have the like terms here. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So plus 10 equals 66. And then subtract 10 on both sides. We get 56 equals 4 times W. And then what we do is divide 4 on both sides. So divided by 4. To isolate the W, we would get W equals 14. Okay, so now that we know, so the question's asking us to find the dimensions. So we're trying to find the dimensions. So if we know the width, since the width is W, the width equals 14, the length is simply the width plus 5. So the length would be 14 plus 5. So 14 plus 5 is 19. So the units, let's not forget them. So it would be 14 meters and then 19 meters. So this would be our final answer. Moving on to our second problem, the width of each side of a rectangle is 3 yards less than its length. The perimeter is 130 yards. Find the length and the width of the rectangle. So in this problem, we have another rectangle. Let's draw a rectangle. And in this case, they're saying that the width of each side of the rectangle is 3 yards less than its length. So again, let's make this our width and our length. So the width is equal to the length minus 3 because it's 3 yards less than its length. So then this would mean that this is L minus 3 and this would be L. And we know the perimeter is 130 yards. So P equals 130 yards. So let's put this in equation form. So we're trying to find the length and the width of the rectangle, similar to the previous problem. So L minus 3 plus L, so plus L minus 3 plus L. I like to put tick marks or circling the, the side length that I have written in the equation just to keep track. So this whole equation equals 130 yards. So group all the like terms. So 1 here, 2, 3, 4. So this would be 4L. And then -3 minus 3 is -6. So -6 equals 130. Add 6 on both sides. This would give us 4L equals 136. Our next step would be to divide 14 on both sides. 4 on both sides. So we isolate the letter L and we get 34 for the length. So we know the length is 34 yards. And now the width is simply length minus 3. So 34 minus 3 is 31 yards. Now, if you want to check your answer, you can do that by adding these numbers together. Multiply them by 2 and then add them together. So let's try it. So 34 times 2 and then 31 times 2. Well, 34 times 2 is 68. And then 31 times 2 is 62. So then you add these two together. So 68 plus 62 gives us 130, which is our perimeter. Moving on to our third problem. Okay, so two sides of a triangle are equal in length. The length of the third side exceeds the length of one of the other sides by 3 centimeters. The perimeter of the triangle is 93 centimeters. Find the length of each side of the triangle. So here we see that the triangle has two equal sides, so it's an isosceles. So two equal sides, that means it's an isosceles. And we know the third side exceeds the length of one of the other sides. So it kind of looks something like this. Let's see. Okay. So it looks something like that. So our two sides that are equal in length, and our third side, which is obviously longer in length. So our third side exceeds the length by 3 centimeters. So let's say x and x for each side because they're both the same. This would be x plus 3. And we know the perimeter of the triangle is 93 centimeters. So P equals 93 centimeters. Okay, so let's put this in equation form. So x plus x plus x plus 3. Cover that, and that equals 93. So group the like terms. So there are 3x. So 3x plus 3 equals 93. Subtract 3 on both sides, and you get 3x equals 90. Divide 3 on both sides, and then x equals 30. Great. So now we know that the length of the two sides are 30 centimeters. So this side and this side, since x equals 30. So we know this. So this one right here, let's draw the triangle again a little more bigger. So right here. Okay. So x, and then x plus 3. Great, so then this would be 30 centimeters. This would be 30 centimeters. And the third side is x plus 3. So our x value is 30. So 30 plus 3 is 33 centimeters. Great. So moving on to our fourth problem. The length of each side of a square is 1 centimeter more than the width of a rectangle. The length of a rectangle is 1 centimeter less than twice its width. The perimeter of the two figures are equal. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. So there's a lot to this problem, but let's go step by step. So we know there's a square and there's a rectangle. Okay. And we know the perimeters are equal to each other. So the perimeters are equal. So here it says the length of each side of the square is 1 centimeter more than the width of the rectangle. So this is the width, right? So width, each side of the square. So each side of the square. So each side is 1 centimeter more than the width of the rectangle. So width plus 1, right? And then we have the length of a rectangle. So we're trying to find L is 1 centimeter less than twice its width. So it's twice its width minus 1. So we're trying to find the perimeter. So they're equal. So this is, right? So the perimeter of the two shapes are equal. And we know that, let me just move this here, a little this way. And we know this is W and this is 2W minus 1. So we can set the square. So since there are 4 of them, we could just say 4W plus 1 equals 2W. So counting for these two, plus 2 times, since we have 2 of these, 2 times 2W minus 1. And we're trying to solve for W. So distribute the 4, so 4W plus 4 equals 2W plus distribute the 2, so 4W minus 2. Group the like terms, so 4W plus 4 equals 2W plus 4W, which is 6W minus 2. Add 2 to both sides, plus 2 plus 2. So that would be 4W plus 6 equals 6W. And then subtract 4W from both sides, and we get 6 equals 2W. So divide 2 on both sides. We get W equals 3. So now that we know the W equals 3, we can say that this side equals 3 centimeters. So 3 centimeters. This side equals 3 centimeters. And then this side, the length, is 2W minus 1. So we substitute the 3. So 2 times 3 is 6, minus 1 is 5. So the length is 5 centimeters. And obviously this side is 5 centimeters as well. Now we don't have to find the perimeter or dimensions. I mean, not the dimension. We don't have to find the dimensions of the square because the question asks us to find the dimensions of the rectangle and the rectangle only.